Trying to make sure that glare's out the way. I'm somehow covering it. But how are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We're back. It's Chrome again. And I've missed y'all. I want to chat with y'all again. I'm just gonna make sure I'm holding this camera right. Alright. But yeah, I just wanted to ask how we doing. I hope that y'all are doing okay. I really do. If so, you know, let it be known. And I'm glad to hear it. If not, why not? You know, let's talk about it. And I hope that regardless of whatever it is that you're going through, you will be alright. You know, I know you're gonna be alright. Just give it some time and keep persevering. Don't let life keep you down. Alright, so fourth version of this video now. And I had a topic in mind, but every time I do this topic, I keep rambling off. I like to ramble when I don't like to ramble, but I ramble when like I'm distracted. You know, there's a bunch of trees and all that stuff. You know, a bunch of trees and a bunch of snow. I don't know if y'all can see, but I really hope that y'all got a good view. Sorry, I got the sniffles. I might cough a few times over the course of this video, so I'm also going to try to keep it quick. Y'all spent the entire bus ride trying to make a video and nothing. So, I guess let's talk about, I don't know if I made a video on this yet. I really hope I didn't, because I really hope I didn't. But I want to talk about nostalgia, I suppose. Remembering the past, remembering the people that we were at any given point in time. You know, 20 years ago, for whoever can remember that far back. You know, I'm 21, so I'll say 10 years back, you know, 15 years back. Let's see, maybe 5 years ago, 2-3 years ago, last year, last month even, you know, it's just trying to remember the people that we were and not pretend like we weren't those people. Because those people that we were, regardless of how we feel, regardless of trying to hide that part of ourselves, that was, you know, that person, that having those experiences and us reacting to them the way we did in some form on that regard, but us having those experiences led us to who we are. Everything, you know, you may not believe this, but who we are now is set up. Who we will be is set up because of who we were. At some point, the present will become our past and the future will become our present. That is to say that at some point we will be an older version of ourselves than the one that we are now, and the versions of ourselves that we are now will be a memory. I mean, that's how time works. I know people looking at me like, oh man, yeah, that's how time works, adoy, but it's fascinating to me because I'm so fascinated with the evolution of people throughout time. One of my favorite people that I like to look back on, that I really love listening to, is the actor Ethan Hawke, because of the things that he talks about. trying to wrestle with growing older, becoming a young man and then becoming an older man, then becoming a 40-year-old man with kids and, going through divorces. And then now he's at 50 something and, just living his best life, I guess, really staying true to himself and trying to figure out who he is. And it seems like across the board, you really know yourself when you're about 40. Generally, not, just to, oh yeah, that person, that's not everybody. But it just really fascinates me at how people can evolve. You can go from soft-spoken or very outspoken to then becoming a more confident but mellowed out version of yourself, because then it's like there's this air about you. You don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. And for those of you watching, how many of you are in their, I would say, I'd even really say late 30s and up? How many of y'all are in that age bracket, right? And you really feel like you know who you are. You don't need to prove yourself or really assert yourself. You can just live without the inner monologue. And I want y'all, for those of y'all who are able to have that form of peace, that inner peace, can y'all explain to me what that feels like? Because I want to learn. I really want to know. I know that it'll likely take a lot of experience. I have a long way to go before I can properly experience that. But I want to, how does it feel from your point of view, from going from a very young person to an older person that's still really young, than in your 30s and all that? What's that experience like, and how did you find your way to yourself? How did you find that confidence in yourself? This video is a ramble, a big old ramble about evolution. I'm just so fascinated. I mean, I'm terrified of the idea of dying, in the sense of dying young, or passing on without feeling like there's nothing left on the table. I'm afraid of dying feeling like I've still got things left on the table. I feel like I could really there's still things I have to give. I want to die on empty, as I've heard it said. I want to die on empty. I want to be that rag. I want to wring out every drop of potential, everything I have to give. So when I go, and hopefully I pray that I have a beautiful wife, beautiful kids, and maybe even grandkids, I'll know for sure that when it's my time and everything's gonna be all right, and that I'll be with God, I'll be with my ancestors, I'll be with my people soon enough. And I talk about nostalgia and the evolution of time is because it feels like as you get older, time only gets faster, and your perception of time is not as acute anymore. It expands to now you have a grander idea of really what time is. And that also means that in a lot of ways it becomes a lot more insignificant, which means it kind of goes quicker, which means you really need to speed it up. And at least that's how we see it. Because I know when I was a kid, man, an hour felt like 3 hours. It felt ridiculous. Yeah. Unbelievable. It's amazing what I used to think as a kid. Y'all remember y'all remember the old Skechers commercials from back in the day, and you put on the shoes and you turn into the freaking superhero? Because I was in love with superheroes. Me being an innocent, naive little 7-year-old, I normally don't go around telling the story too much, but it's funny and I'm not really too ashamed of it because I was a kid. But I sat there and I really wanted Skechers, and I put them things on. My mom bought them for me, and I'm like, y'all lied to me. Oh, that was so stupid. But I look back at that and I'm like, but I was a kid. And I really kind of miss that simplistic way of thinking. There was no real grasp on what society, what is acceptable, in society. You just got to be yourself, unfiltered for the most part. And, you didn't mean anything by it because you mean well. And then as you get older, you kind of learn to shut that down, and you play by society's rules. And then we, in a way, lose our curiosity as we get older. For me, it's, for the most part, always been the same. Just now I understand it, which is I've always been curious about people. And that's why I'm making this YouTube video. That's why I'm doing all of this. That's why this YouTube channel is here. That's why I've been making these videos. That's why, you guys have been seeing them. For me, anyway, it's just to connect with our inner child, to connect with people, and to really tap into the core of people and the human experience. And in this video, really discuss nostalgia and evolution. And speaking of evolution, I said this from the very beginning, that I'm making these videos so that way we can all see how we evolve, so I can see how I evolve in real time over the course of years, and just really tap into something beautiful within myself and hopefully within y'all as well. And that's what this is all about, is evolution. It's mental health, bringing more awareness to mental health to those, or to bring more awareness to themselves, to people who may not be quite as aware of themselves, or that may be feeling lost. And because I'm feeling lost too, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. And a lot of the time, I tend to wonder. I tend to wonder that if there's any point in me doing all this. There's so many people that got the same message. But I've learned that there's a certain way that I speak. And maybe there are people that won't get it until I say it a certain way, maybe. And that's with everybody, But, and I'm really trying to learn. I'm really trying to become a bright young man, or a brighter young man, I'm trying to become wiser, because I'm dumb. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm dumb. Like, we're all not as smart as we think we are. We're not as grown as we think we are. Every time I keep thinking, I'm so mature now. There are situations that pop up that remind me, you're still a little frickin' boy, and you need to get your act together and calm yourself down. And you're getting a little ahead of yourself. Enjoy the journey, and just acknowledge that it's okay to be young. I try to put my chest out, be grown, and be wise, and be serious, and be responsible. And then when I'm with my friends, I'm extremely immature. Extremely, like, in the most pure way. The jokes we make are crazy, though, but that's neither here nor there. But evolution's important. Growing is important, because if you don't grow in a world that constantly is shifting and changing and transforming and growing, you're going to be left behind, and you will be forgotten, because no one's got time to try to pull you back. You have to pull yourself up. In order to do that, you need to learn what it is to be accountable and responsible, and remember who you were. Remember, I'm not trying to talk on anybody that's been through anything traumatic, whatever that may be, that shouldn't have happened to you. But ultimately, we need to take back the narrative and own it. We need to take back our narrative, our story, because this is our story being written. This is our dialogue that we write, not anyone else's. And learning that and taking control of your own destiny and stop letting other people sail the ship, even though you're the captain, is the path to peace and self-actualization and finding love, finding joy, finding peace and positivity wherever you go. I'm a glass half full kind of guy, not a glass half empty. And just talking about, I'm rambling. This is the 4th version of this video, and I've rambled in every single version. I hope this makes sense, but just seek things that will make you better. Seek people that will challenge your beliefs, that will help you see the light, that will help you see things as they need to be seen, not as you would like it. It's not as you would like to see it. Because when we see things the way that we like to see it, we put ourselves in a lot of trouble. We mess ourselves over. And it's detrimental to our health, to our growth. This is talking about trying to grow your spirit. And when you grow your spirit, your mental, your body, all that, it really unlocks the door. There are multiple doors for some bigger and better things. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Just talking about nostalgia and evolution, evolving with time. So, yeah. I'll talk to y'all later. I love y'all. And much love and joy. I pray that wherever you are, you can manage to find that inner peace, so you can spread positivity no matter where you go, and experience positivity. You deserve the best. Keep kicking butt. I'm right there with you every step of the way. And I will be talking to y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good one.